Okay. Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch,
Here.
Darby,
Here.
Geary, Napoleon,
Here.
Mayor Bedine.
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda?
I don't have any, Mayor.
All right, then we'll start with the proclamation for U.S. Fair Housing Law. Whereas April 11, 2023 marks the 55th anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 as amended, which enunciated a national policy of fair housing without regard to race, color, creed, national origin, sex, familiar status, and handicaps, and encourages fair housing opportunities for all citizens. And whereas the City of Streator, as well as the Illinois Valley Association of Realtors, are committed to highlight the Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 by continuing to address discrimination in our community, to support programs that will educate the public about the right to equal housing opportunities, and to plan partnership efforts with other organizations to help assure every American of their right to fair housing. Now, therefore, I, Tara Bedine, Mayor of the City of Streator, do hereby resolve that April 2023, being Fair Housing Month, begin a year-long commemoration of the U.S. Fair Housing Law and urge all citizens to wholeheartedly recognize the celebration throughout the year. Approved March 15, 2023. So we'll move on next to the SHS FFA. And go over the national award. So we have Riley Hinchy, who's one of, or lead on this one. And they're so busy that this is the first time we've been able to get you for a meeting because they are busy doing things and doing good for our community. But I asked them to come in, and we wanted to just recognize the students, and some of the officers are also here as well. So, so if you want to just give us a quick update on everything. If you want, and there's a podium up here. You have the teacher voice,
I have a
know.
loud voice, so it doesn't matter to me. Good evening, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Riley Hinchy. I'm one of the agricultural educators and FFA advisors at Streator Township High School. We hired another ag teacher this last fall. Her name is Ms. Heimerdinger, so I am one of two teachers at Streator Township High School. So with me this evening, I have brought a wide variety of students. Some of them are our officer team, and then the other part of them also our ag communications team. So I'm going to first start with our ag communications team. The ag communications team, what they have to do is they have to go through a process of creating a media plan. And when we took a look at this year, they created a media plan that represented Streator in regards to a community garden and how that community garden could impact Streator. And as they went through that process of completing that media plan, they also have to understand the process of ag communications, such as how to create a video, or how to do a journal, or how to create a journal, or how to go through the process of writing a letter. And so there's a wide variety of facets that they have to understand as they go through the process of competing. In the state of Illinois, they were named the first ranking team back in June, and then they represented not only the state of Illinois, but Streator at the 2022 National FFA Convention, where they placed 17th out of 34. These team members are Palmer Phyllis, Braden Motzko, Sydney Long, and then we had Janice White. Janice is at college, so we actually had to substitute, and Kaylee Lewis was the substitute, and Kaylee was unable to make it with us this evening. So they did a phenomenal job, and they competed on, not only, as I mentioned, not only on behalf of Illinois, but Streator. So I don't know if we could give them a round of applause. History of some some of those things, we compete in a wide variety of career development events, and they're based off of industry skill set to provide students with those skills. If you are named, of course, the top placing team, you represent the state at the national level. So that's really exciting. The next thing, which was a very, very emotional ride for our chapter, every year we submit what is called the National Chapter Award. The National Chapter Award is based off of 3 areas of how do we grow leaders in our town, how do we strengthen agriculture in our town, and how do we foster community in our town. And so when we take a look at all of those things, it goes into all the events that we plan throughout the course of the year. And we may plan 15 events that foster community or 15 events that grow leaders, but a total of 15 of them are placed into an application, and then 9 of them are judged at the state and national level. Since 2014, we've remained one of the top 30 ag programs in the state of Illinois. And then this past June, we were named the 2022 State Premier Chapter, which was extremely emotional and exciting for our chapter on that day as they count down from the top 5 and down into 1. Well, the fun didn't stop there, and neither did the emotion, as we went into the process of being judged at the national level, where we were named one of the top 10 Model of Excellence finalists, which put us at the top 10 in the country out of 9,000 ag programs. Really exciting, very emotional again, because we had to reconvene, and the students had to develop a presentation, where that presentation was then, as I mentioned, presented virtually. And what was really a struggle for our students is, if you know anything about Streator High School, we never went virtual. So understanding how that virtual world really worked was kind of difficult for our students. Real quick, I'm going to highlight the 3 students that presented, 3 students, and we're going to say 0.5 students. He smiles a little bit. 3 students that presented, and then our technological guru that really helped us, and this is going to be Palmer Phyllis, Alexis Walkling, and Sydney Walkling, and then I'm going to have Cindy Long. I have 3 Walkling students, I'm sorry. And then Brandon Motzko. These 4 developed a presentation, and this presentation is what led us to being one of the top 3 ag programs in the state, in the nation. So they had to develop, not only present this presentation once through a virtual world, but a second time on stage in front of the national committee. So this was a huge deal, but at the same point, I want to make sure that Abby Gribben and Zach get recognized as well. That does mean stand, Abby. And Joyce, she's hiding behind Palmer. When I say that, when I looked at all of this, and you see all of this, we may have a certain group that is responsible for a presentation, or a certain group that puts things together. But this officer team is the team that meets every single week for an hour or more. They design the activities that are put together through our program. We may have kids that bring ideas, but they're the ones that put it on the ground and say we need to roll and we need to move forward. Over the course of the year, this team will devote probably 20 plus hours a month to Streator Ag. And throughout the course of the year, probably 500 plus hours of their time is just making sure that our ag program runs smoothly. And they work with community leaders. They get to make decisions on behalf of our chapter. They are truly the leaders of our ag program. So if we can, please give them the round of applause. As I told Mayor Vidai when she walked in the room, we're going to kind of slip out here when we're done. We have a farm fair going on at Streator High School. As I mentioned to Kathy Darrow when I walked in the room, we're thankful that Streator High School, yes, great, you can sit now. We're thankful Streator High School looked at the goals and the mission of the Streator Ag program. They hired another ag teacher this last fall, which has allowed us to do a lot more things, divide and conquer, and really allow the ag program to continue to grow. Next year, we will have 216 students enrolled in Streator Ag and 2 teachers that will be teaching, as well as we'll be accepting a student teacher for next spring. So there's a lot of growth and a lot of excitement taking place. And as I mentioned, as my ag teacher told me, we just drive the bus. It's watching the students do what they do and get kids involved and make it a real home for students at Streator High School. So, thank you.
Can I
2022 Golden Owl winner,
Yes.
which is very impressive. So I know the value of the egg program. We're surrounded by agriculture, and we wanted to just recognize the great work that you've done. And everything you do with Streator, all sorts of projects from your garden that I know you donate produce to the food pantry for that. Egg students help us plant downtown planters and grow flowers for those. So there's all sorts of things that you're doing to give back to the community, and I just wanted to really recognize the fact that you're doing a wonderful job. We appreciate the hard work you put in, and just wanted to recognize that with all of you, and thank you for all the hard work you put in, and what a great representation of our community. So we're all very proud. So thank you for coming in tonight. I know you've got to run and go help the farm fair, but we'll get certificates officially to you. But I'm glad we were able to get it scheduled and get you in here. All right, thank you again. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having me. Okay, well, with that, we'll open up for public comment. If you have a comment for council, we ask you to come up to the podium and state your name, and you have 3 minutes.
I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left, okay?
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Charlene Samick. I'm here before you this evening to represent many of the residents of Pinecrest subdivision and to inform you that we are tired of taking our neighbors' crap. It is imperative that the storm and sewage systems in Pinecrest be separated for the health and well-being of its residents, especially for those that live toward the end of a trunk or a line. Yes, a backflow valve will hopefully prevent our neighbor's sewage from entering our basements, but this is only successful if no water is run in the home during and for approximately 2 hours following each heavy rain. Picture a family being unable to rinse a dish, shower, brush their teeth, throw in a load of laundry, or to flush the toilet for hours on end. The city engineers told me he's sure I could flush once, but he never offered to help me clean up my carpeted floors if the suggestion didn't go as planned. I've lived at 502 Oakley Avenue for over 35 years. A branch of the sewer line ends with me. It approaches my home from the north on Willow Street and runs under the center of Willow Street. Plans are in motion, I've heard, to repave Willow Street this coming spring or summer. It seems cost-effective to fix this problem prior to repaving the road. Yes, I could sell my home and move. It's my choice to remain. But think about it. I'm 75 years old. Yes, 75. My home is mortgage-free, finally, and I certainly don't find the idea of packing and moving and starting over at this point in my life very appealing at all. I taught high school for 7 years prior to returning to Streator, where I was raised, to care for my aging parents. I continued my career as an educator at Fox Developmental Center in Dwight for 30 years. For those that aren't familiar, it's a residential facility for the severely and profoundly mentally and physically impaired. I have paid my dues. Now I want, and
30 seconds.
now all I want and others is to be able to flush our toilets, please. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Look, I know we talked right beforehand about going and doing a little.
We did. So I'm Jeremy. So we talked on the phone about it a month ago.
Yes.
We're going to be out there with the sewer van probably next week when it warms up. So yes, I 100% agree. If there's a problem, we should deal with it before we pave. So we're going to come on. Again, I apologize, but yeah, we will be out there very soon. you'll see us in a windowless van, and we'll be TVing all the sewers and figuring out what the issues are. So no.
I think you're excited.
And I have your number on my desk, so I'll let you know as soon as we're out there.
Thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate your
Yep.
time. What?
Well, my neighbor who has passed told me several years ago that there is some kind of sewer by Lagori's junkyard that has to be pumped out every so many years in order so that we don't get back up in our basements.
We're going to start there. So the subdivision all comes down to Willow and then over to Pine Tree Road and then through to Lagori's. There's a 15-inch line that runs through Lagori's. We're going to check all that and figure out what the issues are. So
Because I have noticed that when I have called several times for that to be cleaned out, and when the city does that, then I don't notice much of a problem.
And I don't take a chance.
yeah. So that's what I said. You'll see the factor in that we have to clean the lines so we can TV it and it'll all be. So we were waiting for a little better weather and it's coming now. So you'll see us very soon.
Thank you.
I heard rumors too that they've done X amount of concrete truckloads down somewhere around the old Food Expo parking lot area, trying to fix this.
We'll research it. I don't know anything about that. So, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll. Anybody you want to come out and see the sewer van and actually come out, you can watch the monitors and we've got one on the back end if you're really interested. See what's going on. So,
I'm not.
but.
These are my children who also have not been able to run water when they lived at home.
It was terrible when you're pregnant too, and you have to go to the bathroom and it's pouring. And now I have a child that comes to my mom's, and 4th of July, folks, it poured on 4th of July, remember? And we had a party at her house. So we had to tell people, you wanna go next door to go to the bathroom? It's
Eat,
okay."
drink, and be merry, but don't flush.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for, I mean, has this been more common lately, or has it
Since
been?
we were in
the-
high school.
The third, okay, so it's been.
No, it's an ongoing
Yeah.
problem. I've had the backflow valve put in my home at my own expense, thousands of dollars. But that means I cannot use water, which would open the valve and allow sewage into my,
Which we have had happen, and we also had to have how many thousands of dollars to redo the basement.
Several times.
Well, we'll get
Most of the
a van.
residents
Oh,
in that
yeah.
area have the check valves.
All right.
Thank you. Follow up when you go.
Yeah,
Put the
that's it.
van out.
Please.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I reside at 1314 North Sterling Street. My family has owned that property for the past
no, I haven't.
60 years.
Thank you.
So we've been long-time residents of Streator. What an honor to. Oh, I'm Samantha Davis.
Okay, Samantha, thank you.
It was an honor to go after FFA, especially for what I'm coming to talk about. I'm praying for you all, for your issues. But I'm a proud resident of Streator. I have 6 daughters in our school system. I've served in our community. I've helped get our city park replaced. Actually came in front of you guys in 2011. And that's how we got our city park put in. So it was I seen this on Facebook that our Armstrong Park, I don't know if anybody had seen it, was posted. As you can see, it's damaged and it doesn't look good. We've been beautifying Streator. We want our youth, which was just posted on the Streator Police Department, to stop vandalizing things. You know, we have multiple small parks throughout this town that are damaged. I myself spent time scrubbing graffiti off Sherman Park when it was still open. I sat there with my kids as they played. So I guess I'm asking Streator city council to take part in getting this clean. I know our city mows the grass, so if we could get FFA involved, I mean, we have these kids growing up and they're doing incredible things at Streator High School. I know what FFA is doing and I just heard it tonight and that was amazing. So maybe getting the kids involved, getting the probation department involved. We don't have that option in Streator for our juvenile children. I've done community service hours with them. I donate time to do that. I've done needle pickups in the city park, collected drop boxes from our police department. I just want to know if the city can get involved in this. Armstrong Park was donated by a family and is named after a beautiful woman.
30 seconds.
I'm hoping that we can do something about this. It doesn't need to be seen as Stoner Park. We're beautifying Streator and that's downtown. And you know, the other one by the Armory, that comes in to Streator. Everybody passes it. So if we can help with that, I would appreciate it. God bless you all. I'm praying for you guys.
Thank you. We'll go into new business. So item 1, resolution 2023-10, awarding a construction contract to Kankakee Construction Company, Kankakee, Illinois, for the 2023 MFT roadway project, which includes pavement, maintenance, and overlay along North Otter Creek Road from Main Street to BNSF tracks. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion. Second.
Okay, Jacob with the motion and Tim with the second. Any discussion? This one?
This is the city's 2023 MFT project, so for that with more fuel tax, and again, yeah, it'll be the in-place recycling of North Otter Creek, so they basically chew up 4 inches of the existing pavement, relay it, add oil, relay it, and then there'll be an overlay over top of that. So it's a green project, but recommend award, and we'll get that portion of North Otter Creek repaved.
Questions or comments? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Rita.
Aye. Item 2, resolution 2023-11, approving an award of supply contract to Asphalt Sales, Jacksonville, Illinois, for emulsified oil to be used in conjunction with the maintenance of streets and highways by the City of Streator under the provision of the Illinois Highway Code. Get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion and Jacob with the second. Any discussion?
So, these next two, number 2 and 3, are both MFT funded as well. This is an annual thing where we go out for public works supply contracts for emulsified oil and aggregate. So recommend award on
Every
both of
March
those.
we do this.
Every March, so
Every
yes.
March. Okay. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Rita.
Aye. Item 3, resolution 2023-12, approving an award of supply contract to Toby's Construction and Cartage, Inc., Herscher, Illinois, for aggregate materials to be used in conjunction with the maintenance of streets and alleys by the City of Streator under the provisions of the Illinois Highway Code. Get a motion and second.
So motion. Second.
Okay, Jacob and then Matt with the second. Any discussion?
Same issue.
Okay, Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Rita.
Aye. Item 4, resolution 2023-13, approving an award of construction contract for the 2023 Public Works Facility Site Project to Opperman Construction Company of Pontiac, Illinois, in conjunction with the installation of concrete pavement at the Public Works site on Iowa Avenue. Can I get a motion and second?
Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion, Jacob with the second. And discussion.
So this was included in your 2023 budget. This will put in concrete pavement over the former dealer facility along Iowa Avenue from the eastern fence back to the back side of the salt shed. So we've been applying for grants to turn that facility into the public works site for several years since we acquired it in the early 2000s. So, as part of your budget process, this is the first phase. We're gonna try to do some pieces that reduce the cost that we maybe can get a grant. So we're gonna keep applying for grants, but, as the dollar figure comes down, the grants we're applying for, or you have to run a cost benefit analysis. So the benefit goes up, the less the cost is the federal has to pay. So we'll do this one, we'll apply again this fall, and hopefully we'll keep doing that until we have Public Works as part of your strategic plan to move Public Works over there. So we'll dibble away at it, but it's within the budget and recommend approval.
Any questions or comments? Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 5, Resolution 2023-14, authorizing approval of a bill of sales to purchase a lawnmower from the Public Works Department. Need a motion and second.
Second.
Okay, we'll go, Brian and then maintenance. Okay, there. Any discussion? Jeff's here.
Purchase of this mower was in our equipment replacement program that I had outlined last year. The price comparison between a direct replacement mower for the John Deere's that we currently use, it's basically the same cost. This mower is a 96-inch deck versus a 72-inch deck on the current mowers. We demoed one last fall from the company that we purchased from, and it cut down approximately 2 hours of mowing just at Marilla Park. So if you add that up between Marilla Park, James Street, City Park, all the other parks, I am guessing about 8 hours a week less mowing time, to where we can dedicate more time to things like park maintenance, graffiti removal, and all those kind of things. So I recommend it work.
Any questions or comments? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 6, Resolution 2023-15, authorizing approval of a bill of sale to purchase a vibratory roller for the Public Works Department.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Tim and then Jacob. The motion and second. And discussion.
The asphalt / aggregate roller that we have for the city is vital to maintenance, especially for gravel alleys in town, which are already starting to go by the wayside as we speak, because we have not had a roller since last October, when our roller experienced mechanical problems and needed parts for the drive system. It's been sitting down there since October, and I've been told 2 weeks ago that basically there are no parts for that machine anymore. It's a 2000 model roller, and they're just not available. So we have to have a roller to keep up with maintenance. I've sourced a couple of used rollers, and I'm getting prices on new ones that are around the $50,000 range, so I'm trying to keep within that budget.
And I've heard that there's been calls already for alley maintenance.
Yes,
Now
there
that
is.
it's warming up.
Yep.
So we've been starting to get those, so. Any questions or discussion from council? All right, clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 7, motion to authorize the proposal from Isaac Electric to install a new 200 amp service and load center at Merlo Park. Second. Second. Okay, Brian and then Jacob. Any discussion? We just talked about this last week at committee of the whole, so.
I know I missed the conversation, but does this include the new shelter that's being built too, that, or? Sorry.
That's fine. So no, this was always planned as part of that project, but this will install a new service line from up on Rural Park Road, up above the creek. It'll run a new line and then pull down into the park, and there'll be a new 200 amp panel there, and Public Works will then take the power over to there. So this will give us the capacity inside the park and get rid of it.
Is this the wire that's like right over the creek?
Right over the creek, yeah, so it's actually converted, if you missed it last week, it was converted, when there used to be a house up on top of the hill, all they did was just
the house got knocked down, they just converted the whole park into all of that service. Sure.
Sorry.
Any questions or comments? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Geary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Buda.
Aye. Item 8, motion to approve the side letters of the current ASME contract concerning CDL licensing. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
Okay, Tim, and then Matt with the second. Any discussion?
Normally, I would present this after the union approves it, but because of scheduling issues, I received word today that they have been able to meet, but they should be meeting soon. If we don't approve it tonight, then it'll be a month before we meet again, and so I suggest we just approve it. It deals with training under the new federal requirements for CDLs as well as potential disciplinary issues for employees who fail to either gain or maintain their CDL licenses.
Any questions or comment from council?
So we're just gonna approve this based on their acceptance.
Yeah, we have a tentative agreement from them, so I'm not expecting any issues, and if there are, then I'll bring it back to you.
Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Geary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Buda.
Aye. Item 9, resolution 2023-16, approving the city of Streeter's participation in the settlements relating to opioids epidemic litigation involving Walgreens, CVS, Teva, and Allergen.
Second.
Okay, Tim and then Jacob. And discussion.
You wanna-
Sure. Previously, the city participated in settlement of these class action lawsuits with Johnson & Johnson, Hess and defendants. These 4 entities have recently reached settlement agreements. We have engaged special counsel for the city to help us navigate these class action settlements, and this just gives them the authority to proceed so we can participate in these matters as well.
Comments? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Geary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Buda.
Aye. Item 10, resolution 2023-17, authorizing the execution of a settlement agreement with Commonwealth Edison and Azobar Audit Solutions, Inc. concerning municipal utility taxes. Get a motion and second.
All motion.
Second.
Jacob with the motion and Matt with the second. And we'll go into discussion.
Well, in 2017, the city engaged an auditing firm to audit the records of Commonwealth Edison. The audit determined that there was an under-collection of revenues, most likely due to addresses that they should have been allocating the tax to Streator as opposed. I'm not sure if it's even collected if it's outside. In any case, there was a shortage, and this is the settlement with ComEd as well as with the auditing company where our agreement with them provided a 60/40 revenue sharing arrangement. So this is just lost money.
Any questions or comments on this one? And the only comment I was gonna make is maybe since it's kind of a windfall, we weren't expecting it, maybe we can put it towards parks or earmark it to go to something, some kind of a project that. Great. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Geary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Buda.
Aye. Item 11, motion to concur with award of bid for Riverside Area Safe Routes to School project. Okay, Brian and then Tim with the second. And discussion.
Last time, probably. Last Friday, our Safe Routes to School project was bid in Springfield. There were 3 bidders.
And unfortunately, I had to bring this to you tonight. Lowest bid was $65,000 over the estimate. We have the money available in MFT if you'd like to proceed. The payment actually won't come until next year. The state pays all the bills on these projects, and then we reimburse our portion. So if the council's in wants to concur, they'll award to Toby's Construction, who is the low bidder, who's doing our 12th Street project. If not, we will work and rebid the project, attempting to get a better price. There were a couple of bidders that I think probably would have given us a better price, but with the nature of things, it probably won't bid again until May or June, likely June, talking IDOT. They'll be not as hungry for work, and who knows what the cost of things, so it really isn't a question for you. It is, Toby's price isn't bad, but I think it could have been better, so that's where we're at, unfortunately.
Just got $65,000.
Yeah.
This will come out of MFT though, so I mean, it's just, we have money in our MFT account, and we'll talk about it this fall during budget, basically, but you have to obligate it and say that we will use it now for the state to move forward with the work.
Any other comments or questions?
Thank you.
All right, clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 12, consent agenda. Get a motion and second to approve consent agenda with a fund warrant total of $601,168.78.
Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion and Jacob with the second. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Mayor Beeline.
Aye. Item 13, city official comments. Go, sorry.
I don't got anything. I said a lot of my piece of the forum last week, so. Good.
Right. I defer to you.
Just want to thank everyone, because regardless of what happens with the election, this will be my, probably my last meeting as a councilman. And it's been an honor and privilege serving on the council, and I just want to encourage everyone to get out and vote.
And I echo requirements, get out and vote. Vote your conscience, regardless. If this is my last meeting, I've had fun. It was a fun ride. I've learned a lot. And it was my honor and privilege as well.
And I was just going to thank the public and SPD for their work in the vandalism calls and getting people identified with that one. And then there is an application process again opening to become a Streator police officer. I believe the applications are due April 3rd. So looking to fill some openings and get that list reestablished. So if you're interested in the career in law enforcement, make sure you apply. That, if anyone else has anything. So I will request a motion and second to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion and Jacob with the second. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Crouch.
Aye.
Darby.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
And Mayor Beeline.
Aye. All right, meeting adjourned.